So what's so great about living in Canada anyways? What is it about Canada that makes it such a great place to live? Well, there's universal healthcare, a strong mixed economy, and there's subsidized post-secondary education. And then of course there's other things like the Charter, Employment Insurance, the Official Languages Act, Canada Post, Canadian Bacon, RCMP, the Confederation Bridge, hockey, the Rockies, CN Tower, smoked salmon, CBC, Niagara Falls, Bill C-31, poutine, the Great Lakes, and the 1976 Summer Olympics. With so many great things already in Canada, how could you make a great country any better? Hi, my name is Adrian Brett. I'm 22 years old. I'm from Springdale, Newfoundland. And this is my big idea for making Canada better. Canada's economy is booming right now. Our dollar is trading above the American greenback, and our unemployment rate is the lowest it's been in 33 years. The federal government recently announced a budget surplus of $14 billion. Maybe some of this money should be used to invest in Canada's future. But where to invest? Well, another thing that's booming in this country is Canada's urban population. Our 12 biggest cities now hold over half of Canada's population. As cities continue to grow, so will the demands on city infrastructure. Roads are the lifelines of our cities, but these arteries are becoming clogged with traffic and smog. Canadians depend heavily on cars for their transportation needs. Yes, Canadians love their cars, but it was never meant to be a long-term relationship. Now is an appropriate time to invest in sustainable transportation. The economy is strong, people are concerned about the environment, and prices of oil are rising. In addition, taking steps to reducing our country's reliance on oil will ensure that spikes in the prices of fuel will not disrupt the national flow of goods or international trade. I believe it's time that the government table a new bill, a bill that calls for a reduction in transportation emissions and oil dependency. Let's call it the Fuel Efficiency and Mass Transit Act, or FEMTA for short. There are three major issues I would like to see addressed by FEMTA. First, FEMTA would call for a fuel efficiency tax on all vehicles. This would be a progressive tax, so the more gas your car guzzles per kilometer, the higher the tax you pay. Several European countries already have such taxes in place, such as Norway. The tax would help increase demand for more fuel-efficient cars and help reduce the number of inefficient cars we currently have on the streets. Secondly, the revenue generated from the fuel efficiency tax will go to fund Canada's mass transit system. As Canada's population becomes more urbanized, the concentration of vehicles in our cities is growing rapidly. The best way to reduce car emissions is to make reductions where they are the most plentiful, which is here in the city. The Fuel Efficiency and Mass Transit Act will provide more federal funding for urban mass transit, such as light rail, buses, and streetcars. Such an investment would not only reduce carbon emissions, but also traffic and smog. And finally, FEMTA would call for an increase in funding for our national rail system. The current government has pledged $691 million to Via Rail over the next 5 years. This is a step in the right direction, but we can go further. FEMTA will call for a percentage of all future budget surpluses to be invested in transit innovation and the modernization of our national railroad. This act would ensure a commitment to the reduction of carbon emissions and ensure that our national trade network is protected from the rising cost of oil. Investment in innovation is the key to continued prosperity. The creation of a modern rail system would be a source of national pride and a feat of Canadian engineering comparable to the Canada arm.
This is Houston, over.
It might take a while to get this project going, but the time to start is now. If Canada doesn't hop on the train today, the opportunity is going to roll right by and we'll miss it. Speaking of a train, I have to catch one now.